Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share the messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves that are helping us back on this journey to unconditional love. Love of the journey, love of each other, and back to ultimately all helping each other back to our divine loves. So I do divine love healing, and I basically connect to your souls and get you the messages that your souls want you to know, as well as you receiving a Holy Fire Reiki healing. So I can identify blocks and also give you the messages that you need to help you put you on your highest path and to help you raise up in the love vibration. And that is basically the quickest way to get back into your union, to be as high as you can in your vibration. The other thing I do is Divine Love Crystal Grid, which uses pieces of rose quartz like this. And when you receive, you basically meditate with the rose quartz and send unconditional love out to your twin. And when you do that, it basically sends unconditional love. And if you have the intent to do that for all twin flames to come into their union, then the power of it doing it together is huge. So basically it's off the Richter scale. So these little crystals are going all the way over the world, all to all 4 continents, which is very exciting. And basically, collectively, we are all helping each other anchor in love and light into the actual universe. And basically, the pull of this and anchoring, it's basically bringing spirituality into reality. So anchoring as above, so below. And so I've just picked a few messages, a few signs and funny things that have happened today. So recently, I have done a healing for somebody. And actually, it was a soul mission. So they wanted to know what their soul path should be. And quite weirdly, I felt an elephant's trunk on my cheek, and I felt the elephant coming near me, and basically, I felt his trunk like sniffing my cheek, which is quite a bit bizarre sensation. Anyway, so I was walking down to actually post off some crystals to some people. And on my walk down to the shop, I'm just going to show you, because it starts off with seeing this. Now, titanium, somebody had said about their twin had given them a titanium keychain, and titanium on the periodic table is number 22. Somebody else then said, oh, I've been hearing the song Titanium. So as I'm walking up the street, the first car that I see has this on the back, Titanium. I then Google to see who Titanium is by, and it is by David Guetta. And if you look at that, those lyrics in that song, basically that has lots of messages in it as well. So that's the first thing. No, the first thing is on this another person's healing, and I see them on a tightrope. So her twin is on a tightrope walking between 2 buildings, and the tightrope is basically very high up, a high rope. So and that's quite specific, right? A tightrope high up in the air. The first email that I get, as you can see, is this, because the first thing that I look, because I can see it's Lego, it reminds me of the Superman Lego DC Comics thing that I went to recently, where there were so many messages. And then when I'm looking at it again, I'm like, hang on a minute. So it's not just the Lego build on brick, which is exactly what the DC Comics thing was here. But it's also a 90-minute high rope course. And I was like, no way, because that's exactly what I've just seen in somebody's healing. Now, I listened to a reading by a lady called Hope S today, because it popped up in my list. And in that reading, she actually talks about a tightrope as well, or I think she says a high rope. So if you follow energy reads, then Hope S, I just happened to listen to it today, and that definitely had something about a high rope or a tight rope or something. So I was just like, oh my God, how closely connected are we all? So then basically that was before I left the house. I got this. Then I get out, and there are so many, but I've just picked a few. So the first thing is the titanium, because I'd remembered somebody said about the song and the girl who had the keychain bought for her by her twin. And titanium equals 22 on the periodic table. So I carry on walking, and this is actually on a bin. Now it's a twin-headed elephant, twin-headed boy with an elephant's trunk. And so immediately I was like, well, that's weird, because I felt an elephant's trunk nuzzling my cheek in somebody's healings recently. So I don't know what it means, but all I know is that unless it's a sign that it was her divine twin, and this was another sign that was going to come. But I just thought, how weird, because that's exactly what I felt in the healing that I did for this person. The next thing is, we've had the Star of David, right? The Star of David being the 6-pointed star, and as above, so below. So this is like literally, I see the bin with the two-headed elephant trunk thing. The next thing I see is this, which has got the Star of David, right, on the car. The next thing I see is I'm walking down. Then, if you've heard of the number, the number of banded around twin flames that there are is 144,000. So then I see this on the street. So this is literally one thing after the next, in the space of about 5 minutes. So it has my initial and then 144, indicating 144,000 twin flames, right? Then I go into a shop, and actually it was to buy a lottery ticket. And this caught my eye because she stood by a caravan. And I've always wanted to have a VW camper van and to go travelling kind of all over Europe. And my twin spirit says, yes, we're going to do that. So when I saw this, it just caught my eye. And then it also caught my eye because I remembered in the video this morning, I said something about being a love warrior. And it was in this particular magazine. So I took a photo of it because I was like, oh, that's so cool, because that's exactly what, I've just said in that video. And the fact that it had happy camping on it, and the fact that I want to have a camper van, and the camper van, I want to go travelling. So I was like, that's perfect. So I carry on. So I saw that, took a photo, carry on. I basically go to have some sushi, and the sushi arrives, and this is what the little conch shell is used to put the chopsticks on. Now, conch shells have been coming through again, and I can't remember why, so I'm going to have to look up the meaning of it, but this has been coming through. So on the way back, I'm walking back home now, and by the car that had the reg plate of Dave, the next reg plate that there is 7, and it's OMG, which I just thought was brilliant, because now there's the Star of David right next to 7 OMG, and I'm like, yeah, well, you can't get much more OMG than this. This is ridiculous. The next thing I see, and this is amazing, I just happened to see it because this is a husky dog. And what you can't see, this is in amongst some rubble. It's actually, it's some dog food, but the dog food is called Complete. C-O-M-P-L-E-T-E, Complete. So I was just like, oh my God, this was like literally one house had the registration of DAV, the next the house had 7 OMG, the next house along had this, the husky bag. So the huskies, not only does it have, so basically more people contact me today. One person contacted me to say that their grandson has just got a baby husky. The next one was saying their son had multicoloured eyes. I've had 2 other people say their children have got multicoloured eyes as well. And one other person saying that when they first met their twin, he had 2 husky dogs, and unfortunately they died. So I don't know, and husky dogs are not, your usual dog, are they? They're not, they're quite an unusual dog to have. So the fact that we're now seeing husky dog, I now have to look up the meaning of husky dog. But anyway, I see a husky dog again, basically in a bunch of rubble, just in a household garden. The next thing is I see, and it's left on a wall, and there is just one single daffodil left on the wall, and that is right by the house, which has the car reg plate, which has got Star of David on its reg plate, right? So this daffodil then, daffodils are also the basically I've seen a lot of people, in a lot of people's healings, the yellow flowers and daffodils, and somebody sent me a note to say that they'd read that daffodils survive even the harshest of winters to still come back and bloom. So you know what, that's why this message is so amazing. Again, all of these messages are so amazing, because even, you know, when the things seem that this impossible to happen, then the possible can happen. I don't know about anyone else, but at the moment I'm really craving having physical contact with my twin. And when I was actually walking past the place that I first met him, and I went into a shop that we first went into together. And when I walked into the shop, they were playing Giants by Take That, the new song. And it's all about being giant in your heart. I would definitely recommend you watching that. I'll put the link in. The next song they played was Snow Patrol, If I Just Lay Here, where you lie with me and forget about the world. And I felt his energy, you know, all around me. And so you know what, I don't know what's going on, but I'm really craving some physical contact. So all of these signs, you know, we're getting, I know everyone's having the same thing. We're just getting signs, bombarded by signs constantly, and their energy with us and everything. So, and I know that people that have come to me from healings, I'm getting emails saying that they're dreaming about them more, where they didn't do before. They can feel their energy more that they didn't do before. And so, you know, it really does open that doorway to let them through. But also, you know, I don't know, it just feels like it's reaching fever pitch, and I feel like, come on now, let's collectively bring these people home. So yeah, I guess I'm just saying, please collectively put your intent out to bring all twin flames into their reunion, to help them come home, to help them find their way home. All right, well, I hope that helps. And if you want to come to me for healing or to join the Crystal Grid, then please do, because the more people, then the more the power of love can shine on, basically, and shine bright, and let love and light basically raise up the planet and help our twin flames come home to us. All right, well, I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.